You're welcome to our mathematics class today. So in our previous class, we treated the concept of solving quadratic equation using completing the square method. Is that not so? And there was one very important thing we did from that previous class. That was on Thursday, is that not so? Yeah. What we did was to use the method of completing the square to derive this formula we are going to deal with today, which we call the quadratic formula. Some can also refer to it as almighty formula. So very significant, very important that my dear friends here should have that formula at heart already. Are you getting me right? You should have memorized that formula. Because an examiner, for example, in your WAEC, are you getting me right? Yes. Can force you to use that method and solve a particular question. But if you are going for JAM, there it's purely CBT. So you won't be forced to use a particular method. Am I communicating? But WASE examination can force you to solve this quadratic equation by formula method. Already we are done with factorization method, completing the square, and that completing the square helped us to derive this formula we are going to deal with today. So as a reminder, remember the general form that our quadratic equation takes, especially when it is a trinomial quadratic expression equation term. When you are given ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, although this question I've asked it before, but let me still repeat it. Is this a quadratic equation? Yes. What made it a quadratic equation? The highest power of the unknown is raised to power what you said? To power 2, that's correct. Are you following, good Lord? Now, our A is the coefficient of the unknown bearing power 2. Am I communicating? Because an examiner must not use x as the unknown. I can give you this as ay squared plus by plus c equal to 0. Or plus k equal to 0. I can tell you that it is at squared plus bt plus w equal to 0. Am I communicating? Right? So the variable, the unknown, can be any alphabet as decided. A, B, C, we have stated that they are numbers. They are what? Numbers. Most generally, at this level when you're dealing with your quadratic equation, we give them as numbers. Now, it is important for my friends to know that the coefficient of the unknown bearing power 2 is called A. It's called what? Just by general rule as we, assign to them. The coefficient of x is known as what? And the constant term, that term that does not contain x is known as what? Now, if I give you this, it's known as what? Which alphabet do we use for it here? C. The constant term, we use C for it. Now, let me give you this. 5x squared plus 6x minus 8 equal to 0. You're given this now. You must know your ABC. Am I communicating? Yes. All you have to do is to compare it with this general form, which already you are expected to know. Am I communicating? So what is your A from this question now, or from this quadratic equation? What is your A? 5. You are very correct. What is your B? 6. I agree with you fully. What is your C? -8. Correct. I was thinking that somebody is going to tell me 8. And I was like, nah. So it is minus what? 8. Remember, I've told you something about maths and calculations. You don't joke with your signs. Am I communicating? You don't joke with your what? With your signs. If it is minus, you must indicate it. You see minus, that mathematical operation is powerful. You don't play with it anyhow. If minus touches plus, what will happen today? Plus. To change to minus. If minus touches minus, what will happen to the minus? To change to plus. So this guy can change anything, changeable. That is why if you see that sign, you must respect it. Sometimes we play with plus anyhow. If I give you, 10 now, automatically this is plus 10. I don't need to write it plus and then 10. I hope you're following, right? It's not necessary. But if this were to be minus 10, can you just write it like this? You don't. You can play with it. You must put that minus. Am I communicating, dear friends? So if it is minus 10, you see minus there. So good enough. I'm glad that you could say that C is minus what? 8. Now, once you are able to identify this coefficient and this constant in a given question, your problem is now solved. All you now need to do is to apply the quadratic formula and then substitute. I've taught you substitution, basic equation and all those things, change of subject formula. So what we are going to do in today's class is as if we are going to play. Don't you think so? Don't you think so? Good. All right. So right. Given ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, then by quadratic formula, and like I said, is the same as saying, okay, almighty formula. The solution to this quadratic equation will now be, then by quadratic formula, the solution is, want to find the value of x, because always it is the value of x that we look for. Is that not so? Yeah, the value of the unknown. Generally, we use x to refer to it or to represent it. Like I said, it can be any other alphabet as the unknown. Here, we are using x. So, by quadratic formula, which someone can also call almighty formula, the solution is, you are expected to memorize this formula as I give it to you. Are we ready? Although you have it in your notes already because we derived it from the second method. So the solution to x will be equal to, can I hear from you step by step?
Minus b.
You are very correct. Minus b. Plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, Chika, I have a question for you. This all over, does it have any effect on this x? Class, this all over, do you draw it up to this x part? No, it only affects the right hand side of the equation. This is the solution to any quadratic equation using the formula method. Am I communicating? When we derive this equation through completing the square method from our previous class, I told you, that is our previous math class. Are you following? I told you that inside this formula there are two solutions, isn't it? The minus b plus part. Are you following, right? And then the minus b minus part. This is the quadratic formula. So once you have it in your brain, once you've memorized it, and you are given any quadratic equation to solve using quadratic formula, all you just need to do, go to the question, get your ABC. Are you following, right? Come here and fix them, and then simplify. Chijuke, do you understand that? Good luck, do you understand that? So your problem right now is just one thing. Can you memorize this formula? Already you have shown that you've memorized it because you were able to state the formula. Am I communicating, right? You are not expected to forget it. Make sure you remember it. We shall now see how we apply the formula. But before then, quickly, I would like to tell you something significant about this square root part. It has a name we give to it. We call it the discriminant. Yeah, and it is very, very important when you are dealing with quadratic equation with respect to the types of roots, with respect to the types of the answer. Are you getting me right? You are meant to get. In the next 1 week to 2 weeks to come, I'll be teaching my university students in 100 level that concept. Types of root of a quadratic equation dependent on this part of this equation, b squared minus 4ac. We call it the discriminant. Although at this point, you really don't need it so much. It has nothing to do with solving this question. Are you following, right? That you know that this guy is called discriminant, and so, does he have any business with solving this question? No. But you are expected to know it. Are you following, right? The reason is because this b squared minus 4ac is very significant. In fact, this evening, I will drop a question about it in my university group. Yes. There's a question, so if any one of them is connected to, because I'm trying to stream this class for them as well too. Anybody that is connected, the person now should pay attention that GMAS for the one is saying. He's going to give this type of question today. X squared plus 5x minus, okay, let me make this px squared plus 5x minus 6 equal to 0. And I will say, find the value of p. Find the value of p so that the root of this equation, the zeros of this equation, are you following? The values of x in this equation, the answer of x in this equation will be real numbers and equal. Will be what I said? Real numbers and equal. At least from factorization method, you saw that if you solve any quadratic equation, how many answers do you expect to get? 2. Now, those 2 answers, there are 3 possibilities, 3 things that may happen whenever you solve it. 1 out of the 3 rather may happen. It is either the 2 answers, they are real numbers. That's our normal number, you know. Are you following, right? All the type of numbers, you know. It could be that they are real numbers and they are equal. And they are what? It's possible for you to calculate for the value of x and you get x equal to 2. And the second value of x is also equal to... Those type of answers are called real and equal roots. It's possible for you to solve and you get real number, but the 2 answers are not equal. Are you getting me? For example, you can get x equal to, there was one we solved from WAEC, you remember? From WAEC question, was it x squared minus 3 brackets, something. Do you remember that question, right? What was the values of x we got? That WAEC question we solved.
Minus 0.3.
Is it minus 0? No, not that one. There is this one we solved that we got. That one that the question had brackets. So what was the answer we got? I think 3 and 9, but one of them was minus. Good. Now look at this. These are real numbers. Are you following, right? But are they equal? No, they are not. They are not. So I've told you 2 possible types of answer you can get. The numbers or the answers may be real and equal. Are you getting me? It's possible that the answers are real, but they are not what? Equal. And then there is this other funny type of answer we can get sometimes, where the number, the answer, they are not real numbers. They are not what? Real numbers. That one is beyond your scope for now, except in further maths. Except in what? Which we are still going to treat as we move on. But in general maths, we don't talk about that one. The answer of the unknown there are imaginary numbers. They are what? It happens if this part of this equation, b squared minus 4ac, if you fix your value and you simplify, and you get a negative something inside. Let me assume you have minus, a square root of minus, let's say, 16. Minus anything. Are you getting me right? Once you have minus inside this square root, forget, your calculator cannot give you the answer. If you press it in your calculator, to be telling you math error, to tell you error, something error, either syntax or whatever error. Such number is not real. Are you getting me right? We call it imaginary. In your 100 level, you're going to deal with something like that, or in further maths. Is that okay? Now, all these types of roots of the equation, all these types of final answer, final values of x, I told you, real and unequal root. Are you getting me? Real and equal, and then imaginary. Are you getting me? How do we get to know that a particular equation will give you real number that are equal? How would you know that it will give us real number that are not equal? How would you know that you cannot even get real number? That quadratic equation at this level in general maths, we say you can't solve it. Are you getting me right? All of them depend on b squared minus 4ac. So I'd like us to write a short note on it before we start solving question. Just a short note. Then on your own, you can play with it at home. If I give you a quadratic equation, even before solving, you can tell whether that quadratic equation can be solved or not. You can tell whether it can factorize or not. You can tell whether the final answers you're going to get will be real number or not. You can tell whether the real numbers are equal or not. All of them, this small thing is what gives us the information. B squared minus 4ac. You don't play with it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Now write. Note. The term The term b squared minus 4ac is called discriminant. It's called discriminant. It's called discriminant. Discriminant. I will use capital D for it. Are you following? So we can, it implies that D, capital D, discriminant is equal to b squared minus 4ac. Now I'm going to give you important things a student should know about these discriminants. Point number 1 to note. If b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, first, are you there? That b squared minus 4ac, we call it what I said? Discriminant. Now, what are certain conditions you should know about it with respect to the type of root of the quadratic equation that you will get? Are you following, right? If b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, that is, if d is equal to 0, are you getting me, right? The roots of the equation, will be real and equal. Will be real numbers and equal. First stop. That's one very significant point you should take note of. Also, the quadratic equation can factorize. The quadratic equation can be factorized. So do you see that even this b squared minus 4ac tells you that you can factorize it? Yes? Also the quadratic equation, thank you for the correction. Also the quadratic equation can be factorized. How many key points have we gotten from point number 1 with respect to what this discriminant can help us to know? 2 points, is that not so? Yes. Tell me one of the points. If this guy is equal to 0, which type of root will you get? Which type of answer? Remember, I told you when we introduced quadratic equation under factorization method that the answers are called the root of the equation. Is that not so? We also call it the zeros of the equation. If you now start dealing with polynomial, that is power 3 times. Are you following, right? So which type of root will you get? Real and equal. Look at it. Real and equal root. And then what does it tell you about the quadratic equation? Can you factorize such quadratic equation or not? You can. Such quadratic equation can be factorized. Now point number 2. If b squared minus 4ac is equal to a perfect square, a perfect square number, but not 0. Are you getting me? Because 0 is also a perfect square. Square root of 0 will give you 0. But we have treated the part of 0. Are you getting me, right? Here, if b squared minus 4ac is equal to a perfect square number greater than 0, let me indicate. So that perfect square number is expected to be greater than 0. Are you following? Now, without scattering, don't scatter this. The answer to this question I'm going to ask you. Give me the numbers in order. What are perfect square numbers that are bigger than 0? 4, 9, 16. 27. Is 27 a perfect square? Is there any number you multiply by itself to get 27? Okay, now you've mentioned 4, 9. At least I'm okay with that. I just want to find out that at least you still have in your mind what perfect square numbers are. Am I communicating, students? Yes. But there is one you jumped, which is 1. 1 is a perfect square. Take note. 0 is a perfect square. 1 is a perfect square. Square root of 0 is 0. Square root of 1 is 1. Are you following? Because 1 times 1 will give you 1. Are we learning? Yes. So 0 is a perfect square. But I'm not talking of 0 because point 1 has covered it. Are you getting me? If b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, what you are expected to know from this discriminant information. Then the second point is, if b squared minus 4ac, the discriminant, gives you a perfect square number. For example, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. You can generate your perfect squares. I hope you know that, right? 1 times 1. So 1 is a perfect square. 2 times 2. 4 is a perfect square. 3 times 3. Is 9 a perfect square?
Yes.
You are correct. 8 times 8. You know, I've been telling you guys, go and learn your multiplication table. Correct. Is 64 a perfect square?
Yes.
9 times 9.
It's 1.
Is 81 a perfect square?
Yes.
You are very correct. So anytime you evaluate these parts and it gives you a perfect square, what should you know about that quadratic equation? What type of root will you get? Please write. I don't have a space here. I don't want to wipe this. Or should I wipe this? I hope you've written this, right? Let me wipe it so we can still continue. Let me wipe it. Good. If the discriminant is equal to a perfect square, which is greater than what? 0. Comma. Then the roots of the equation, of that quadratic equation, the root of the equation will be real numbers, but not equal. Are you getting me? But what? Meaning real numbers and unequal. They will ask university students 100 level this question in their exam, hands down. I'm saying it. They must see, one of them must see a question on this in their exam. You know, the way they ask them question at that level, since it is CBT, it follows JAM format. Are you following, right? You have chunks of question in the question data bank, like in Unizik. Am I communicating? And then when student enters different batches, you meet different kind of questions. Are you following, right? Someone must see a question on this thing I'm analyzing. And in as much as I am saying university, does it mean WAEC cannot put you under this situation? They can. Because even at that university 100 level, the scheme of work or course outline, as they call it, is 95% the same as the scheme of work of SS1, SS2, and SS3. That is why you don't joke with this your level. Don't. You're in SS1, you're in SS2, you're in SS3. Don't joke. Make sure you solidify your foundation. So that when you get to 100 level, you won't have all these challenges that many students experience at that level. Some of them will just, allow themselves to be made to think that they don't know anything. And it's not true. For you to pass through this level, are you getting me right? You sat for your WAEC, you sat for your JAM into 100 level. It means you are good. There are no two ways about it. It's just that sometimes some of us, this fear, are you getting me right? Lack of confidence. And that is one thing GMAETS 41 is really, really speaking against. We want to be confident in ourselves, dear students. Are you following right? God has given you that wisdom, that brain. Activate it and you'll see that all these things, they are 1 plus 1. Are we learning? Okay. Now, this also shows that the quadratic equation can factorize. Also, the quadratic equation can factorize. Equation can factorize. These things are very important. We've treated factorization method, true or false? If I give you an equation, do you know I can ask you, can this quadratic equation be factorized or not? On that theory question, like when we take exam, I can tell you, prove. Are you following right? In a terminal exam, I can ask you, prove that this quadratic equation cannot be factorized or can be factorized. All you need to do is to use the discriminant as a test. Are you following right? If you use the discriminant and it gives you 0, can the quadratic equation factorize or not? Good. If you use the discriminant and you get a perfect square, can the quadratic equation factorize or not? It can. Therefore, if you use the discriminant and you do not get 0 and you do not get perfect square, can that quadratic equation be factorized? No. That is why we now talk about other methods like completing the square method and even this formula method. And like I said, on Thursday, where we still have our maths class, we'll be introducing graphical method. Get your graph before. Thursday, although we have other subjects tomorrow, Tuesday, and we are moving on. I'm wiping this again. Point number 3. If b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, but not a perfect square, but not a perfect square, but not a perfect what? Square, comma, then the roots of the equation will be real and unequal, will be real and what? Unequal. Now let me give you one shocking thing about this now. You see this point 1. The roots you are going to get, which are equal, will be whole numbers. Will be what?
Whole numbers.
Not decimal. Are you getting me? This point 2, where the discriminant gave you a perfect square. Are you getting me? But greater than 0. The roots will also be whole numbers, but they will not be the same. Are you getting me? You see this one, that the discriminant gave you something greater than 0, but that number is not a perfect square. Are you getting me? You will still get real numbers as your answer. They will not be equal. Are you getting me right? They will not be what? Equal. So real and unequal. But will the roots be whole numbers here? No, they will not. Usually the root of the equation in this case will be decimal. Will be what? Decimal or fraction. Okay. Then the root of the equation will be, I'm sorry, I omitted B here, will be real and equal, but fraction or decimal. Are you getting me? Decimal is obtained from fraction, true or false. Okay, let me say, but a fraction, which of course will be decimal. There was this, is it wire question also we solved under completing the square method. One of you actually brought that question when I told you, okay, search from your past question under factorization. When you brought it, I told you we can't deal with that under factorization because that guy can't be factorized, and we prove it. Then the day we treated completing the square, I invoked that question. I told you, let's retrace it back. We did and solved, and what did we get as answer? Minus what? You see that question, we'll solve it today. We'll solve it today. It falls under this number 3. Are you getting me right? And in fact, without my solving that question, just using this discriminant, I can look at it and say, okay, this is what I expect to get. Are you getting me right? So in this case, where the discriminant gave you a number which is bigger than 0, greater than 0, but it is not a perfect square. You will get real numbers as the root of the equation. The real numbers will not be equal. Are you getting me right? But something significant is that the answer will be in fraction form. Will be what? Then finally, cannot be factorized. The equation cannot be factorized. The equation cannot be factorized. The equation cannot be factorized. Now, I am sorry that because of the level we are operating at now, and the fact that this is not further maths, I won't bring the 4th one. That one that I told you, your calculator will tell you maths error. It happens if the discriminant is less than 0. And what are numbers less than 0? Negative numbers. Am I communicating? Imagine that you are substituting, or you substitute into the quadratic formula, and that square root of b squared minus 4ac, that b squared minus 4ac gives you a negative number when you simplify. Are you getting me right? You will now be having square root of a negative number. You can't solve it. And let me tell you, in your general math, no examiner will give you that. Not even WAEC. If WAEC does that, I'll charge them to court. So this is with 100% confidence. Are you following right? Your JAM will also not do that. If they do that, I'll charge them to court. Yes, because the aspect of further maths that covers that part, which we call complex number. JAMB syllabus does not deal with that. Am I communicating? So they have no right to ask students such question. For that reason, the GMAETS 41 will not be saying anything about that. If I meet my students in university, I'll introduce that because they need to know it due to a topic they treat in one of their course, Maths 101, elementary maths, where they will deal with complex numbers. And even that quadratic equation, there are some kind of question they will ask them that will warrant them to be aware of that. So for now, I have told you everything you should know from that b square minus 4ac part. Are you following, right? We had to treat that. We had to talk about that b square minus 4ac because we met it in this formula. Are you getting me right? So you should be aware of the implication of that b square minus 4ac. Summary. No, don't write anything. Just try to summarize what we have learned so far. We are treating how to solve quadratic equation by formula method. Is that not so? We brought out the formula. And what is the formula? To get the unknown. X equal to what?
Minus b.
Minus b.
Plus or minus
Square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
Good. And we isolated one part of that equation because of the importance. Is that not so?
Yes.
Good. B squared minus 4ac. What is the name given to that expression?
Discriminant.
Discriminant. Do you play with it?
No.
If I give you a quadratic equation without solving, you can discover a whole lot of things about the quadratic equation. Number one, whether it can factorize or not. Are you getting me? Number two, whether the answers you will get will be real numbers or not. Number three, whether the answers will be equal or not. All those things, you get them from the discriminant. It is now time for us to solve question. And then we put to rest this part of quadratic equation as we warm up to round off quadratic equation with formula method in our next class. Please, any question on this? Yes, Divine?
For this discriminant, to know if it's going to be factorized or not, does it mean you're going to, if given a quadratic equation, you substitute into this discriminant, then if it meets this other discriminant, notice.
You are very correct. That's it. From the question given to you, identify your ABC. Are you getting me right? Pick those numbers that represent ABC. Fix it here. Simplify. If it meets condition number one, that is, this guy gives you 0. Are you getting me? Or it meets condition number 2, that is, this discriminant gives you a perfect square. Then you know that that guy can factorize. And once a quadratic equation can factorize, the best thing to do is to factorize, except you are forced to use a particular method. However, my dear friends, please, dear students, in real exam situation, you don't need that. That they give you a question like this, you start testing. As they give you a quadratic equation, you start testing whether I can factorize or not using this. It's a waste of time. There are other significant kind of questions they use this to ask. Why did I say it's a waste of time? With excellent knowledge of you can actually quickly determine whether the quadratic equation can factorize or not. The reason is because in the concept of factorization, you need the factors of some numbers. Is that not so?
Yes.
We treated that already. Were you in class when we treated factorization method? Have you updated your notes? Good. So you read through. We have the video lesson also that you can take to guide you. Have you taken the video lesson on it? You have not. You don't want to take it or you don't know how to find it. All right. So send a message later this evening. So I will send the link directly to our group. Are you following, right? Yeah. Then take it. I think the video lesson, the real video lesson I use in teaching quadratic equation by factorization is just less than 15 minutes. About 10, between 10 to 15, or even less than 10 minutes, if I guess, yeah. But I didn't show my face. Are you following, right? I took my time. I did not rush gradually to break down everything you need there. If you watch it, that's all. So, with the knowledge of multiplication, and you know that multiplication will help you to know factors of numbers. Is that not so? That is sufficient for you to determine whether a quadratic equation can factorize or not. So you don't go punishing yourself using this. Am I communicating? Yeah. But if worst come to worst, because some of you have refused to want to learn your multiplication from 2 to 9 times table at least, But of course, don't mind me. I know you guys are trying. You're trying, keep it up, okay? Keep putting in more effort. When the going is getting tough, you to get what? Tougher. I asked this morning, how was your weekend? And Emmanuel one said, hey, no, the weekend was not good. What happened? Ha! That he could not even sleep. Studying. That's the spirit. That's what you are meant to do now. Listen, WAEC jam is just how many months from now? 4 months. Yes, now this year is gone. This year is what? Gone. Yes, now. Soon we would vacate. 2 of us. Some of you go and chop food and forget that you even have to return to school. Imanu now, the way you attach certain importance to some kind of food that is being cooked at some point in time. You know what I'm talking about now? 20-something food. No. As if your life depends on that day alone. January again, the same thing. You forget that you have to come back to school. And once you return, that is exam year already, and you know the pressure will build up. Your jump and WAEC, they kick off from April. Are you getting me right? Yeah, from April. But you can do it. That is why we are here. Please, let us pick our very first question. Divine, I think I've answered your question and I've added further information you should be aware of. When you are given a question, quadratic, and maybe you want to use factorization method, you should know consciously by the knowledge of multiplication whether that quadratic equation can factorize or not. You really don't need to go and carry out these tests. But if worst come to worst, that you cannot process it quickly using your knowledge of multiplication, if you still want to use b squared minus 4ac to test, no problem. Are you following right? But even at the end of testing and you find out that the guy can factorize when the discriminant gives you 0 or perfect square, are you getting me right? Going back to factorize, you still need the knowledge of so learn your multiplication once and for all. Question number 1. Now what we are going to do is to go back to our previous question. Are you getting me right? And that one we solved by completing the square. That gave us decimal number as answer. Yeah, fraction converts to decimal. That is WAEC, which year? Because for any exam question we solve, we always trace the year. We always trace the exam body rather. Yes, under completing the square. 1998. So what's 1998? What's 1998? Yes, what is the question, please? What did they say we should do? Solve the equation. Okay, let me write. Solve the equation. Solve the equation. Yes. X squared minus 3x minus 1 equal to 0. Give your answer. Give your answer. Your answers correct to 1 dp. This dp means decimal place. So we are going to solve this question. We shall use the quadratic formula. Are you getting it right? I could have said, okay, let us go and find out whether this can factorize first or not. But don't worry, we don't need to find out. When we start substituting into that formula, are you following right? We already have the discriminant inside the formula, true or false. So whatever that part inside that square root will simplify to give us, I'll ask you that question. Whether this guy could be factorized or not. So let us not go do the test separately. Now the question given to us is x squared minus 3x minus 1 equal to 0. The first thing you need to do is to identify the value of a, b, and what? C. Are we ready? Have you copied the question? Copy quickly. Be fast. Be fast as fast can be. Remember when you are going for WAEC in theory, for example, you must be very, very fast. If you finish copying the question, we solve. Fast, fast, fast. Are we done? Okay. Fast, 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 fast. All right, attention on the board. Stop writing if you are not done yet. From this equation, we are going to select our ABC. Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
You know you are the one to answer the question. I won't. What is your A from this given quadratic equation? 1. Why do you say it is 1?
The X is 1. So
Now, no chorus answer. If you know it, put up your hand. What you're saying? Say, let me hear. Okay, let's hear from you. Good luck. Which of the X? Because I can see 2X there. That is why I am particular and saying, okay, let me get it there. X squared. X squared. Your friends should know how to define these things. Imagine you teaching someone in SS3 now, let's say someone in SS1. You should be able to clearly, are you getting me right? Point to these things so you don't confuse that person. Am I communicating? So this X carrying square, X square, what is multiplying it is invisible. Therefore, A is equal to, now what is your B?
-3.
B is -3. What is your C? -1. Now we shall use our quadratic formula. But we know that from quadratic formula, X is equal to, give me the formula.
-B plus or minus square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A.
Correct. Now you have a formula. Once you are given a formula for something, because the formula now will be your guide, is that not so? And you know the values of the things in the formula, what do you do next? Substitute. You see the reason why I just took my time, took you to substitution when we resumed in September for our school, and I was telling you, see all these things you need. Know how to fix values inside formula or into formula. Are you getting me right? Sadly, not everybody knows how to do that. Even at university level, some persons are still finding it difficult to do simple substitution. And that is why I am crying. Yes, crying because it seems we are playing with the education system in this country. Things we need to highlight, important points. You see this one, don't joke with it. These are key elements. Somebody that wants to solve something in mathematics, in field of science, physics, chemistry, you are given a formula. If you know the formula, you know the values of things. The next thing is to substitute. So you cannot imagine when a student does not know how to do substitution. Don't you think there's a very big problem there? Please, let's go. Let us now substitute. We are looking for X, so we write our X equal to minus B. What do I fix for B? So B is what? -3. Remember, this minus is a follow-come minus from the formula. True or false? So I'm going to open brackets and then fix minus what? 3, representing B. After this B, what do you see next? Correct. Plus or minus. After that, what do you see next? So I'm going to write square root. Then in the square root, what do you see inside? What do you fix here? So -3 in bracket, you square it. Are you following?
Yes.
Dear friends, am I doing anything on my own? No, something is guiding me. Is that not so?
Yes.
That is how you are meant to be guided whenever you have a formula. Are you following, right?
Yes.
Okay. If my first name is Emmanuel, we have Emmanuel here amongst us as a student. If, okay, we say by name, Emmanuel can replace Emmanuel. Emmanuel is the same as Emmanuel. Is that not so? You can substitute Emmanuel for me. So if I am here, you can remove me and bring Emmanuel. Now, Emmanuel, can you come and replace me? Yes, right now, come and replace me. That's the whole idea of substitution. It's not difficult. Am I communicating? And if you are replacing me with this Emmanuel, you are going to kick me off and Emmanuel will take my position. Does that make sense? This is all about substitution. So you don't do your own thing. You don't. Please, can you have your seat? Thank you for coming out. You don't do your own thing. When you have a formula, please be guided. Oh, this one is B. But B, this is the number replacing it, or this is the term that they said is equal to B. Remove that B. Fix that thing. Exactly the way it is. Oh, this is A. What is the value of A? It is this. Remove that A. Carry the number replacing it. Fix it there. Follow that formula step by step. Be meticulous about that. Don't do your own. Don't be intimidated by anything. Are you getting me right? Follow through and you can do your substitution perfectly well. Now we have fixed for b squared, true or false. After that, what do you see next? After minus, what do you see next? After 4, what do you see next? And what is the value of a? Correct. So in place of a, you fix 1. You know, this is 4 times a. I'm using bracket to show the times now. After the a, what do you see next? And what is the value of c from the question? So you substitute c with what? Minus 1. Divide everything, because after the numerator, the next thing you see is this all over. Is that not so? So you have all over 2a. So it's going to be 2 times, what is your a? 1. Not minus, Emmanuel. Look at it. I hope it's clear, right? Do we all understand this substitution? Yes. Please, if there is anybody that has a challenge anywhere in this substitution, please ask. Good luck. Let me hear from you. Do you have any challenge? You know? How I got the 3. Once again, remember this noun is the square root part, that discriminant part. Is that not so? Let's go back to the formula, because like I said, I am being guided by something. This is square root b squared. Is that not so? So the b there was raised to power 2. The question now is, what is the value of b from the quadratic equation given to us? Good luck. Let me hear you. What's the value of b? You are very correct. So coming here, in place of this b, remove this b. 6 minus 3. Are you getting me? And the b from the formula is squared. So that minus 3, which is b, will now be what? Do you understand that? All right. You know, I'm maybe particular about you also recently, because like I say, you just joined us. And I want to carry up to the level that we are now, you know, and I'm happy you are following through. Is it difficult? It's not. It's not. Okay, now at this point, we now do simplification. We do what?
Simplification.
Focus on the right-hand side and simplify all of them. Work them out using your normal basic arithmetic knowledge. Where you see plus, you use plus operation. You see minus operation. You know, things like that. Let's go. Minus times minus will give us what?
Plus.
Are you following, right? So this minus 3 will now become positive 3. You see there's no minus here again, okay?
Yes.
After that, you have your plus minus, or fix my plus minus, then square root. Let's try to work out all these things and see. Minus 3. You square it, what will you get? 9. Are you following? Yes. First of all, 3 square will give you 9. This minus will disappear because the power is an even number. Anytime a negative number has power, and the power is what? Even. That negative will disappear because it makes use of minus times minus. Look at it. Minus 3 all square is the same as minus 3 times minus 3. That's the implication. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Then minus times minus will now change to what? Plus. 3 times 3 will now give you what? 9. So that is how we got minus 3 squared to be equal to positive 9. Then come over to this. This is minus 4 times 1, which will give you what?
Minus 4.
Then minus 4 times minus 1 will give you what?
Plus 4.
Plus 4. Chukwuka, are you following? So this will become plus 4. Everything will be divided by what? 2 times 1 is what? 2. Good luck. Do you understand this line? Do you understand this line? Okay, let's move on. This will be equal to, so x is equal to, remember I'm solving for x, so I keep bringing down that x. That is the guy I'm looking for. If I don't want to bring it down, I can just be using equal to whatever I'm doing on the right. At the end, I will conclude therefore x, because x is what I'm looking for. Are you getting me right? That's what I have there. So this becomes 3 plus minus square root 9 plus 4 is what? All over what? Now let us look at the discriminant part now. Remember I told you when we simplify that discriminant part, I will ask you a question. Is that not so? The whole discriminant b squared minus 4ac, what did it give to us? 13. Is 13 0? No. Is 13 a perfect square? No. So condition number 1 and number 2, when I was explaining something about the discriminant, that condition number 1 and 2, were they satisfied here? No. The discriminant did not give us 0. It did not give us a perfect square. Are you getting me? Therefore, let me ask you, this original question, this question given to us, can it be factorized? No. The final answer we are going to get here, will it be whole number? Will it be whole number? No. Remember, it can only be whole number if this guy gives us either 0 or what? A perfect square. If it is 0, if this guy has simplified to 0, we would know that the final answer we'll get here will be real numbers and equal. Will be what? Real numbers and equal. Excuse me. I hope I can save this camera. Sorry, those online. The camera is going off. Let me see how fast I can save it. Oh gosh. Can I do this? Yeah. All right. I'm sorry that the camera's device, the battery went off. So that's it, but I don't know how it's going to be. We are done already. I think the main thing we needed to do, we are done with it. I'm trying to see if I can zoom. Let me see if I can zoom. Please. Sorry, can you adjust this way possibly? Can you adjust? Sorry. Emmanuel 2 actually connected via online. No, he's not in class right now. I'm trying to zoom this for you, friends, so you can still benefit because the camera is on charge right now. We are done solving this particular question. We are done solving it. We are done solving it. Good. I think we were here when the thing happened. So just from here, simplify further 9 plus 4. Now the sound might be echoing because of our classroom, and I'm not using mic now due to the charging port of the camera. It's the same port that I use for the mic. So manager, we're even trying to stream from the class live to you friends. It's not easy. So like I said, 9 plus 4 will give you 13. Is that not so?
Yes.
I will say for that reason, 13. Is it a perfect square?
No.
No. Is it 0?
No.
No. So can this quadratic equation be factorized?
No.
No. Because the description part gives us a number that is non-perfect square. And if you remember case 3, condition number 3 for discriminant, I said if the discriminant gives you a number that is greater than 0 but not a perfect square. Look at it. That point 3 when we are analyzing the discriminant. If the discriminant is greater than 0 but not a perfect square, the root of the equation, there will be real number. Yes. They will be unequal. Is that not so?
Yes.
Would there be whole numbers?
No.
No. Good enough, we've gotten to the end of the answer here. This is 3.3. Because the question says we should get the answer in how many decimals? One decimal. So 3.3. This is a fraction. I hope you know that, right? It's a fraction. If you had evaluated square root of 13 separately, that was going to give us 3 point something. Are you following, right? 3 point, it will be greater than 0.5. Because 3 squared should be 9. 3 squared should be 9. And if you check 9 and 16, which is the next perfect square, the difference 3 and 4. So this will be more than 0.5. If you check your calculator, it's going to what? 6. Is that not so? Yeah. Square root of 13 will be 3.6. If you add it to this 3, you are going to get 6.6. Is that not so? Over 2. 6.6 over 2 is not a fraction.
It is.
Which converts to decimal. So that is one part of the solution to this, which we picked by working on 3 plus square root of 13. Are you following, right? Or the second part of this result will be 3 and what? 3 what? Minus square root of 13. I hope you're following, right? And if you simplify this, you should be getting something like minus 0.6 over 2. Which if you evaluate, you get minus 0.3. So you see, we've solved this question, cool. Now let's find out. This answer we obtained here, are they the same as what we got when we solved this using completing the square method? Go check this. Because we have solved this question using completing the square. So you see, right? No stress about it. Mathematics does not lie. Am I communicating? It doesn't lie. Whenever I see all these different methods of solving a particular question, whichever of the method you use, you still get the same answer. The only thing with this question is that factorization method cannot solve it. Are you following? And already you find that out from this discriminant part. But completing the square method can solve it. Formula method can solve it, which we have done. Are you following? And graphical method can also solve it. Please, is there any question? Is there any question? Alright, can we take one more question, please? Go to your source. Most times it is from wire question that you would see, types of question where you would deal with using either quadratic formula, completing the square. Are you following that? JAM, mostly, if JAM is giving you question on this, they give you things that can factorize. Are you following right? Yeah, JAM specifically. If JAM is asking you question on this, it's usually a factorizable quadratic equation. But YL can give you non-factorizable quadratic equation. Because then you take theory. Are you getting me right? Chika, the source of this question, was it objective or theory? Maybe theory, is that not so? Good. Where you use calculator, although even in objective you use calculator too. But one thing about this exam bodies is, have you confirmed that it is theory? One thing about this exam bodies is, if they are giving you quadratic equation in objectives, in 98% of the cases, under objective, are you getting me? There will be factorizable quadratic equations. Yeah. 98% of quadratic equations you see in objective exams are usually factorizable. If it is one that cannot be factorized, you will see them under theory in most cases. Please, have you found one more? Let's see. Let's be sure that you cannot factorize. Solve correct to 2 decimal places the equation 4x squared equal to 11x plus 21. Okay, so 4 times 21 should give us 84. There are no 2 numbers you can multiply to get 84 and add to get 11. So that guy can factorize. Let's go indeed and solve. Are we ready? Question number 2, please. Can you mention the page so that others that have the answer question can also trace it? Have you seen it all? What's that? 2000 and what? 8. Question 2. Like I said, in the aspect of JAM, for those that are going for JAM per se, what you should know about quadratic equation, we've actually covered it, which is factorization method, basically, when it comes to you solving the question. Are you getting it right? You are meant to know these other ones, so it's not as if you don't know them. But in terms of solving an exam question, if it is in JAM situation, you are done with the aspect you are really meant to do, which is quadratic equation by factorization. This one now is usually meant for YEC students. Are you getting it right? In terms of solving the question. Okay, let's go. Read out the question, please.
Solve. Correct to 2 decimal places.
Correct to 2dp. You're not reading.
4x squared equals.
Hold on, solve correct to 2dp. The equation Is that not how it's supposed? The equation.
4x squared.
Let's go.
4x squared
4x squared
equals to 11x
plus
21.
I'll be fast in solving this question because we'll spend time explaining all of these. Are you getting me right?
Yes.
Solution. We shall use quadratic formula method. To start solving, you must bring everything to one side and make it equal to 0. Anytime the quadratic equation is given to you and it's scattered, are you following right? Bring everything to one side and make it equal to what? 0. Whenever you're bringing everything to one side, please, there is a rule you must know. This raised to power 2 term must be positive. Must be what? Positive. I'm saying this so you should be aware of this. You are not expected to move this 4x squared to this place. If you move 4x squared to meet 11x and 21, the 4x will change to minus. Is that not so?
Yes.
So since it is positive, then move other ones to meet it. So this is going to give us 4x squared. If 11x crosses, you have minus 11x. If 21 crosses, you have minus 21. And that will be equal to what? 0. From here we can pick A, B, C. Is that not so?
Yes.
I am throwing the question at you. What is our A from this question?
4
What is our B from this question?
minus 11
What is our C from this question?
minus 21.
And then we recall quadratic formula, almighty formula. Is that not so?
Yes.
We know that to solve for x, you're going to use the formula. Please, let me get the formula.
Minus b plus or minus square root of b squared and minus 4ac all over 2a.
The next is to substitute. Is that not so?
Yes.
The next is to substitute. So we're going to do the substitution there. Are you following? We're going to do the substitution there. Like I said, we are going to be fast. We are going to be fast. So follow along. If you have any question, you ask. Remember, what we are going to do here is exactly what we did in question 1. Is that not so?
Yes.
And this, of course, is our last question. Under this method of quadratic equation, I don't need to solve 1001 questions. Am I complicated? Once you understand that question 1, you have conquered quadratic formula method. So x will now be equal to, we substitute minus b, I'll have minus, what is our b?
Minus 11.
So in place of this b, you fix minus 11. Does it mean that b will always be minus value? Is that what it means? No. It can be positive. If it is positive, you just simply write minus and then you write that value. Okay, next is plus minus. Are you there?
Yes.
Square roots of b squared. And what is our b?
7.
What is our b?
Minus 11.
Minus 11, you square it. And then minus 4. What is our a?
4.
What is our c?
Minus 21.
Minus 21. Then divide all of this by 2 times a.
And 4.
I hope you're together, right?
Yes.
I'll be fast without talking to you.
Yes.
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 Okay, let's go. Nothing is there. X is equal to minus times minus will give us 11. Plus or minus square root. Minus 11 squared is 121. Then 4 minus 4 times 4 will give you minus 16. Minus 16 times minus 21. Now I tell you motivate, drop that calculator. Drop that calculator. Now let's assume an example was come to us, no calculator, you're not allowed to use it. All you just have to do if you cannot work it out once, and that is why you like all these place values, tens and units and other things. Nobody stops you from using it. Are you getting me right? 6 times 1 will give you 6. This is going to be 12. 1 times 1, 1, 2, 2, 6, 3, and 3. Are you getting me right? So it's not everything. Anything you go for calculator. Anything you go for calculator. Calculator damages the brain sometimes. Take note of that. Because it makes someone to become too lazy and dependent, and that makes your brain to be redundant. Yes. I've suffered from it before. I've shared this story with so many people when I decided to have the experience of teaching in primary school before I finally resigned from, conventional teaching, whatever, at the time, 2020. But this happened in 2017. In this small team, even as a teacher, you're running for calculator. I was teaching division primary 5. And I wrote a question on the board, this divided by that. That was my first experience at the time. And then I was reaching out for calculator to tell the answer. A little boy from the back just told me the answer of that thing. And that could be quite embarrassing, true or false. A teacher going to look for calculator. And the person who wants to teach and told me the answer before calculator. That was when it dawned on me, 2017. It's not as if I didn't know multiplication then. I knew it. It's not as if I couldn't work those things out. But then my brain was redundant. Yes, there are no two ways about it. I shared this experience with people, which is why I always encourage them. Activate your brain. Learn your multiplication very well. It will improve. Are you getting me right? The quality of how fast your brain can process things. Because that very day, October the 3rd, 2017, I don't forget that day. But rather than being embarrassed, I had to learn from it positively. Nobody was aware of it. So then I can wake up and talk anything about math and I'll prove a point in it. We all have little ways we learn, even from people we teach. But one thing I do, once I get all these things, I tell my secrets. I tell you, work on it. You have very few of the teachers that will always emphasize on this. Are you getting me right? But I put it to you, any child who is good with multiplication, you would always find out that the child will be doing well in maths, in calculation subject. Except if maybe the teachers or the coach now fails to start exposing how calculations depend on multiplication. Are you getting me right? Because one thing is not just to learn it and you're saying it 2 times 1, 2 times 6, 4 times 3, 6. No. You should know how to apply them to various things. How does multiplication relate to factors of multiples, LCM, division? How does it relate to things like variation and everything? Once you expose it, any child that is good with multiplication, in fact, from primary school, the child can be dealing with certain senior secondary school works. So, when we worked out this, we got 336 from here. Is that not so? Remember that 336 will be positive. Because this thing is minus times minus, true or false. So it's going to change to plus 336. So add it to 121 because minus 11 squared give us 121. Is that not so? Simply come here, just do 121. Am I communicating? And you are adding to 336. This part gave us 336. Here it gave us 121. Anyone your brain can process and tell you the answer, write it. If your brain is trying to waste your time on processing it, be fast in doing the multiplication. Have you asked yourself from primary 2, primary 3, primary 4, primary 5, primary 6, JSS 1, and even possibly JSS 2 partly? Every first term, the first topic they expose these ones to is place values. Do you know your place values, right? Units, tens, 100,000. Have you asked yourself why? You didn't do all those things for the fact that you just want to do it. It is because we know days are coming, you will need them to facilitate your works. Are you getting me right? So whenever it calls for it, please, feel free, be fast. Don't go and be punishing yourself. Anyone your brain can actually process, fine. If the brain is trying to set you back, work it out on paper so you don't waste your time. Okay, let's go. If you add 331 to 121, what will you get? 7, 5, that's 4, 5, 7. Is that also? 4, 5, 7. Divide by what? 8. Use calculator only when it becomes absolutely necessary. Please. That is why, as you know, here in our school, you are not allowed to use calculator. You know that. You know that. I didn't joke with it. Only when I tell you, use it. And there are reasons I will tell you, perhaps because of one or two things we see. And even exam bodies that do not conduct theory questions, are you getting me? They wouldn't give such kind of question. You know, this is WAEC question, and WAEC allows for calculator. JAM can't give you this kind of thing. Are you seeing the difference, right? They can't. Because the system's calculator, some of these operations, they are not there. Like, I guess square root was not in there, I guess. So if they are giving, they will give you something that will be perfect square. Are you getting me, right? So you can easily work it out. So I'll make sure you make use of calculator when it is absolutely necessary. From here, we have gotten the two parts of our answer. But first, I want us to do this thing now. Find square root of 457 alone. That should be around 20 point something. Because 20 squared is 400 already. Okay, 21, yeah. 21 squared is 441. Yeah. 21, are you following, right? So this is going to be 11 plus or minus 21 point what? 3 what? I need 2 decimals. So every 4 decimals.
3775.
It is the final answer you are asked to put in how many decimals? 2. Whenever you are solving questions that have decimal, please, it is advisable you pick up to 4 decimals. After the whole number part, you come to decimal digit, you pick 4 of them for high level of accuracy in your results. Are you getting me? Then your this will now be over 8. From here, you can now break this into the 2 parts of your answer. X is equal to 11 plus 21.3775 divided by what? 8. Or, let me spell it here. Or, X will be equal to 11 minus 21.3375. 3775. Or 11 plus 21.3775 divided by what? 8. So the value of your x will now be equal to work out this and divide by 8 once. Give me the value.
4 points.
I wrote what? This is minus, please, not plus. You know, the first part you pick plus. The second part you pick what? Minus. So this should give us what?
4.05 approximately.
Good. 4.05. You are asked to give your answer in 2 DPs. So the third number is not approximation, right?
Yes.
The third digit. Good. That means it is 4.047.
Yes.
When you approximate. Or work out this one, 11 minus 21.3775. Then anything you get divided by 8. Have you gotten yours? What? Minus 1. Minus 0.30. Okay, 0.2 what? 297, right? We are talking about 2 decimals. So it's going to be 29. If you make it 30, it becomes 1 decimal. Yeah, because if 0 ends any decimal digit, that 0 is insignificant. So you leave it as 1.2. Answer. And this is how we have conquered quadratic equation by method of formula. Yes? 1.297. You cannot round off from 7 to 9 anymore. 9 is the highest digit to round off. Are you following, right? So just forget about the 7 and the rest. Just 1.29. Please, if you have a question, ask. Good luck. Is there any part you got confused here? Do you understand up to this point?
Yes.
Do you understand this one? This is this where you have crossing. Now, if you had calculator, okay, you have calculator there. Press 11 plus 21.3775. Fast. 11 plus 21.3775 equal to, then divide your answer by 8. Divided by 8. Now tell me what you got in the calculator. If you want to press this thing once because of the calculator you're using, start with brackets. Press bracket. You have the bracket key, right? Have you opened the bracket? Now press 11 plus 21.3775. Then you close bracket. You know your calculator makes use of board mass knowledge. If you, or principle, if you just press this thing once like that without respecting that bracket. Hold on. The first one you press that is in the bracket. Are you following? This calculator, I will evaluate it. It will do 11 plus 21.3775 divided by 8. It will only divide the 21.3775 by 8. Are you getting me? Anything it gets, it will add it to 11, which is wrong here. Because this thing means be done with the numerator first. Anything you get, you divide by 8. So to invoke that command in your calculator, you put this guy in brackets. So have you put it in bracket? Now divide by 8, straight on. Divide by 8. You close the bracket here. Then press division. And then 8. 4 point what? So you got 4.047. Now you are asked to put your answer, give your answer in 2 decimals, which means after this whole number, you pick 1 decimal, 2 decimal. Why are we counting this 0 as part of our decimal? This 0 here is significant because it is between non-zero digits. It is between digits that are not zero. Are you getting me right? So you have to count it as 1 decimal. Are you getting me? And 4 makes it how many decimal? 2. Now 7 is the 3rd decimal, but you're not allowed to get to that point. Therefore, what do? The answer will be 4.04. However, the 3rd decimal digit is up to 5 and even more than 5. Any number that is 5 and above, you can approximate, you can round up. In GMAETS for the one's basic class, there's a special video dedicated to rounding off, where you round up or you round what? Down. Any number 5 and above, you round up by removing 1 from them and add it to the one before it. Are you getting it? So if you add 1 to this 4, this becomes what? 5. The 7 and everything after it will disappear. Are you following? It becomes 7, so you forget about it. But if this is less than 5, let us say 4 down by this 7 now. The answer could have been 4.04. Are you getting me? Because 4 below, you round down. Do you get that? So that's how we got that 0.05. We removed 1 from that. The same thing, if you follow the same formula, this is 11 minus 21 point something over something. Is that not so? When they pressed it, told us that the answer is minus 1.297 something. Are you following? But this thing, you have to put your answer in 2 decimals. So 1.2 is the first decimal. 9 is the second decimal. I was told that they had 7 as the 3rd decimal as well. Now, we could have written 1.297. You can round up this 7 to 9. But 9 is the highest digit to which you can round up. Are you getting me? If you run to this 9, and this 9 should become what? 10. Meaning you still remove from that. How can you write this thing as 10 like this? It will become 210. Are you getting me? You don't do that. You don't round off to 9. Are you getting me? Highest, you can round off to 8 to make it 9. For this reason, what you do is forget about this 7 to just be 1.29. If it were to be 1 decimal result that we want, what you have to do is to round off from 9 to what? 3. If it is 1 dp that you want to take. So in this case, just forget about this. If this guy were to be 287, are you following, right? You could have rounded off from 7 to that 8. Do you get that? Any further question? This is how we are done with, yeah?
But if you write down 1.30, will they fail you?
1.30, will they fail you? Based on the decimal places they ask you to put the answer, the examiner has the right to fail your final answer. Because that thing is 1 decimal. 1.30 is 1 decimal. Remember I told you, if you have 1.30, this 0, there is no other digit after it that is not 0. Are you getting me? So this guy is insignificant. That is why, you know, in maths, you also deal with significant figures, decimal numbers. You in I think from primary 5 actually they start talking about all this. Under rounding off. Then just as 1 for primary 6, significant figure becomes much more obvious. We talk about. Do you understand that? So 1.30 is the same as 1 decimal. Any further questions? So we are done with our maths class today and method 3 of solving quadratic equations. In our next maths class, that's on Thursday, is that not so? We shall be dealing with graphical method. One thing I want to let you know, you remember that each of the methods we treated them in just one class, is that not so? Quadratic formula method, we can't treat it completely. Is it correct? I mean, graphical method. We can't treat graphical method completely in one class, it's not done. Because none of you here have an idea of how to plot graphics. So there's going to be a lot of works. You don't know how to plot graphs, so I said you don't know, you have never been taught. So don't argue with me, I know what I'm saying, but you don't know, one of you. Don't worry, that day you'll find out whether you can plot or not, until that day first. Until that day. When I tell you to select unit, choose unit, now you will be doing only what God knows. But don't worry until then, let's not argue. Is that okay? Come with your graph book and a complete math set that day. If you like, buy your math set and then after that they throw it away. You know that math set is also part of your exam materials in terms of what if you're going for theory exam. So get a complete math set. Okay. Oh, I will be taking jam or whatever. I don't need to plot graph. There are questions in chemistry, in physics, that can be linked to graph. You won't plot the graph, but you want to answer some questions from the graph. For example now, our velocity time graph. Is that not a graph? Can't you be given a question to answer from the graph? Last class we treated something like that, true or false? You know, after our break we are moving on to physics. And we are treating motion now. Although today we are focusing on acceleration. But I will still refer, we are still going to solve jump questions from past question on velocity time graph. Because from velocity time graph, you get acceleration from there. I hope you know that, right? So you see, as a science student, you don't joke with graph. From Thursday, we'll start working with it. Are you getting it right? Any question? So, so we are running out of this. And yeah, that's what I'm able to talk right now. We are done. Let me just declare the break open. Then I'm streaming this for our online students to also learn. So that's why. All right. What is the time now? 30 minutes break. So let me check. I'm ending up this. After 30 minutes break, you come back for your physics.